Using oxygen-rich air to better performance is no secret. Roger Bannister, the first person to break 4 minutes to the mile, did conclusive studies that showed how using oxygen-rich air bettered his performance and eventually helped him break 4 minutes in the mile. If it's good enough for Roger, it's good enough for me.
Once I began working with Oxygen for Energy, I immediately started incorporating the oxygen into basically all of my key workouts throughout the week, whether it was swimming, biking, or running. And I would specifically use them targeting, the speed sessions, the interval sessions. And I noticed a few things. The first thing I noticed that my times were coming down significantly. So I was swimming faster, running faster, and then I was able to recover and I felt better afterwards. And then the final way I was using it was for recovery after those workouts. And I have just noticed a phenomenal difference in the way I feel, and then in the end the way I'm performing due to those key critical workouts.
I really find that it helps me be explosive in my sprint events. It helps me offset fatigue at the end of my races, and it helps me to recover in between sets and sessions.
With the ability to flood my body with oxygen at any time, it's like instantaneously going to low altitude to train. So if I want to work on power and speed, I just flood my body right before the workout and I'm able to push myself to a higher threshold. Then after the workout, I take more shots and it helps me flush out the lactic acid and recover faster.
If you've ever trained at altitude, then raced at sea level and felt like you had all the oxygen you needed to have high power, do exactly what you wanted to do in that race, those same effects will happen with Oxygen for Energy.
As a competitive cyclist, I do a lot of high intensity interval training, and I use Oxygen for Energy before each interval. It helps me with my lactic acid buildup, which gives me better times, better results, and more intervals.
There's no doubt in my mind that Oxygen for Energy works. I've tested it with my power meter and saw great improvements in power and endurance.
Yeah, I feel the oxygen's giving me something a little bit extra that no other nutritional supplement can give me. So I would highly recommend it to anyone who wants to be the best, compete at the highest level.
And recovery drinks and proper nutrition are definitely a necessity, but oxygen is just on a completely different level. I've never been able to recover this quickly after hard workouts before.
With oxygen, what I've found is I can maximize each training session, and I can also maximize my recovery in preparation for the next training session.
Whether I'm training here in the high altitudes of northern New Mexico or racing super fast crits down at sea level, the oxygen is a really important part of my racing and training. It helps me recover and come back strong the next day.
Oxygen is the final piece of the puzzle for endurance athletes. We have everything these days, from energy gels, energy drinks, recovery pills, compression socks, and even altitude tents. All these things are great, but portable oxygen that you can take with you when training and racing is definitely the most beneficial thing, at least that I found, in terms of providing energy, endurance, and recovery.